Hello everyone. This is Michelle Stelling with the National Association of Digital Scrapbookers. We're on week 3 of the card design. So if you missed week 1 and 2, go back and watch them inside of our blog, naods.com/blog. We're going to be creating this card today. Well, in this little snippet. So you can find the kit at OScraps if you go ahead and do a search on Vicki Robinson. Check out that. I can't remember the name of the kit, but I will put it down in the show notes below. Last week we did, using a template, we did this card. And we also did another class. I don't know if we're going to do it in the Sunday snippets, but we did this class. If you want to search for that class on how to make this card, go ahead inside the members only area and search for card design. One other quick thing, if you want these templates and droplets, you can go to karenschultz.net and check those out. Just do a search on card droplets or templates. You will be able to find them there. Hope you enjoy this Sunday snippet. Bye for now. So let's close out of there. And this is the one, let me see how, oh my, I can't believe, wow. I hope you guys have time because this might not get over right at 3 o'clock. It might be a little bit after 3 o'clock. So, okay, we're gonna create this card right here. It's really simple. It only has like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pieces or 7 pieces to it. And we're going to use the droplet. And here's what Karen was talking about. To make it a little bit more dimensional, you can do some drop shadows on this. All right. So this kit, what was this kit called? Okay, it's called Almost Spring. Somebody's asking about the kit. This is called Almost Spring, and it is by it is by Vicki Robinson, and I will have a link also in the follow-up email to where that goes, and so the spring-a-ling and the droplets and templates too. Let me think if I answered all the questions. Rebecca says, I do better with templates. Yeah, some people say, gosh, whenever I get too deep into those different layers with the droplets, it gets a little bit confusing. But once you do them a few times, then you can kind of get over that hump of the droplets. So, all right, I have to cheat here a little bit. I'm looking at my card. And let's see what else. Oh, okay. So I have a couple different things here. I have a couple different pieces of paper. I also have a little staple right there that I'll show you how to pull that in, and then the text. So let me see what font I used before I start with a blank sheet before I start with the blank. I got this, one of my members told me, and I use it all the time now. If you're in here, who's the one that told me about Angeline's Script Regular? I absolutely love this font. I don't know if they're in here, but someone told me about Angeline's. And if you have any favorite fonts, like scripty fonts, because now I'm doing a lot of cards, I love the scripty kind of fonts. So this one right here, if you want to write it down, see down here where it says Angeline's Script Regular. I believe I got it from Da Font, but it's possible that it came from like 1001 fonts or 101 fonts. I can't remember, but it was free, which I really liked. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and close out of this. Da Font Free. Okay, so Bobby says that dafontfree.io. Okay, so there's a long one. So yeah, go to DaFont Free and check it out. No problem, Pat. We will see you in our next class, which is next Thursday, I believe. So those of you who have to leave a little early, I wanted to tell you, Karen, I can't remember. I think it's next Thursday. Let me look here. We have another members class, which is next, no, it's Wednesday. It's on Wednesday, the 22nd. So I wanted to let you know that, Pat, before you left. Is it easy to upload a new font? Oh yes, it's so easy on a PC for sure. In fact, Stephanie, why don't you remind me at the very end and I'll show you how easy it is, okay? I'm gonna make a note too, because sometimes install a font at end. Please remind me, scream at me. You can do it all in caps. All right, because that's pretty, it's crazy how easy it is on a PC. I don't know about a Mac, but on a PC, so easy. All right, so I'm going to now start from the beginning. I'm gonna go File and Open. And this one is from the SD greeting cards droplet 01-1. So let me get my little card here so I can make sure I use the right papers. So I'm going to then go up to my Move tool. And okay, so you want to start your card with the end in mind. I knew that this was going to be a birthday card for my sister, so I gathered the colored papers that I knew she was going to like. She likes the maroons, the purples, the light colors, so I knew that's what she likes. So I gathered some of those from a kit. I brought them into my file, my folder. Everybody does it a different way. I'm just telling you how I just gathered the pieces that I know I'm going to be using to make it easier. I find the picture, I put that picture, I copy and paste it into that folder as well. I never just drag the drop the photo because I may use it in a different time. So I copy and paste it. And all the other things too. I copy and paste the papers, so I leave it all in the original documents that it came in, and then I just go click, 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 yes, I want to use all these, and blah, 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 okay? So next, I'm going to go ahead and say, okay, I'm going to start. I always like to start from the back. So the back to me would be possibly this piece right here. So I'm going to click here to add a photo or whatever. That doesn't have to be a photo. It can be a piece of paper. It can be a photo. So I'm going to go to my papers. And this is the piece that I wanted to add in there. And I kind of like it placed right like that, but you can move it around to kind of, you know, put it wherever you want to. I can even make it bigger if I want to. So if I don't want all of that in there, I can just kind of put it right about there. I like this to be off the page. The little circle in the bottom, like about like that. And then I can double click to bring it into place. The next piece is going to be this one here. Click here to add photo or drag photo here. I'm just going to click here, and this is going to be another piece of paper, so I'm going to use this one. I'm going to make it a little bit bigger, like about there. Click on the check mark or double click. All right, then you'll see, let me zoom in here. It says click here to add photo, click. The piece of paper I want, actually, I don't have in here, which is fine. I'm just going to use this piece from a different kit. This is the Spring-a-Ling kit. I'm going to pull that in there. I'm going to make it a little bit bigger, but I don't like that color scheme with this. So what I'm going to do, and this is very kind of tricky, I'm going to go up into the right-hand side where my layers are. I'm going to add a hue and saturation like I like to do. And it does go right above that. But let's just be careful here. I'm going to click colorize. See how it does everything? Don't freak out. Don't freak out because it takes it and puts it on everything below it. But then I'm going to come over here, hold down my Alt key, and just do it to that layer. Did that make sense? Okay. And if it didn't, just watch this over and over again. It's right at about the 45 mark, maybe 50 mark. So you clip it to that. And then, oh, I forgot to save as. Thank you, Laura. You want to save as another name. So I'll do that in a second here. So now I can go back to that hue and saturation. I can deepen the color, or I can get a different shade or a different hue to match the purple colors. right? Because it's kind of a purpley color. So I want it to be right about there and maybe a little deeper. That might be too deep. Let's not be picky, Michelle. And let's just go with that, all right? So I messed around with this. Now, I do have to save this. Go File, Save As. I should do that at the very, very beginning. Practice what I teach, right? Okay, so hold on. I see some questions coming in. Could you use the color picker? You can, yep. Great class, but I gotta run. Bye, Janet. Could you clip it first, then who's had to wasten? Could you clip it first? Yeah, you probably could. I would guess you could. All right, so let's save this as, this is a birthday card. I'm just gonna go Allison, because I don't wanna override stuff. Okay, so I'm just gonna go ahead. Oh, get out of there, little guy. So save. All right, let me zoom back out here. All right, so next I'm gonna go here, click here to add photo or drag. And I want to use, which one was it? Oh, it's this piece right here. So I'm gonna pull that one in. And it happens to do a cool thing right here. If you move it over, I really liked that. So I'm gonna move that over to right about there. All right, see that? I really like those going down the side there. That would work perfectly. And then I really don't need these pieces. Oops. So what I'm going to do over here on the right-hand side, I'm going to drag and drop those into the trash can because I don't really need those pieces. All right, did that make sense? So now I can close this one up so I don't get confused. I can close them all up. These little arrow pointing down, that means that they are in a group. And then I'm just going to create another layer. I don't know if I have to, but I always do, just so that things don't go inside of those areas. It's just my little comfort zone there. So now I'm going to bring in the picture of me and my sister. So I'm going to go File and Place. And here it is. It's a little big, so I'm going to shrink it down a little bit. And I think it's going to go right about here. And it's going to be rotated just a bit, but I'm just going to go ahead and leave it like that. And then I'm going to bring in a frame. So I'm going to go File and Place. And I like this frame here. And I'm going to zoom out a little bit and just rotate it. See how in the arrow keys, the double arrows right there? I'm going to hold down my Shift key so it's perfect. And then shrink it down. I glance down to see that my constraint proportions is checked. And this is where it gets a little tricky. I have to probably cut some of this off. Hold on. Let me get in here real tight so you can see this. Hold on, let me position stuff really good here. Oops, I just pressed a button on my mouse key that I don't know if I was supposed to. Okay, so there, I'm gonna do it right about there. Now, I need to clip off some of this. So I'm just gonna go to that layer. I'm gonna right click and I'm gonna simplify that layer. It will tell me that I can't do it because I have to simplify it, which is fine, but I'm just gonna simplify it now because I'm gonna cut off, just taking my handy dandy rectangle marquee tool, and I'm just gonna cut that off. Now I can go ahead and rotate both of them at the same time if I want to, or I can shrink them just a little bit more. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and shrink them a little bit more and rotate them. Okay, bring that right about there and we're good. Now, if I want to start doing some drop shadows to make it look pretty cool, I can go ahead and select this. I believe I select this. I'm going to go to Layer, Layer Style, and Style Settings. Now, you can have your own drop shadows. You can install them, but I'm just going to go ahead and use these. And then I'm going to size it a little bit, distance and opacity. You see that right here? So I'm doing it really heavy so that you can see it. I wouldn't do it this heavy, and I probably wouldn't do the size so big, but I want you to be able to see it. So I'm doing a little bit of drop shadow there. I'm just going to click on OK and zoom back out. Now we have a little bit of a drop shadow. You can do that to more than one if you want to. Let's just say I want to do it to this one right here. I'm just going to go ahead and select it. See how I have the tag selected? I'm going to go back into layer style and style settings, do a drop shadow. I can change the direction of the drop. Oh,